My name's Alyssa. Like many others, I have experienced trauma, pain, anxiety, stress in my life. I don't think it's unique to just me. Growing up, I was in a tough situation with a family member that made life and my relationships pretty difficult. From there, I was in a pretty rough car accident when I was a teenager, where a really good friend of mine passed away, and I was driving. Both experiences were difficult for me and stuck with me for a long time into my adult life. I sought out counseling and traditional therapy as a way to try to deal with a lot of it. I found that it was impacting really my everyday. I wasn't sleeping. When I went to sleep, I had to have some type of noise in the background to keep me asleep, so that when I did wake up, I didn't have panic attacks and anxiety. It became almost to the point where in my marriage and my job, I was doing so much so fast just to keep myself numb from dealing with what I had been through. So I was at lunch one day with a friend, and she introduced the concept of ART to me, and I just thought, what do I have to lose? At this point, it's I go in, and worst case scenario is I come out the same way. Best case scenario is that I find some type of resolve for what I'm going through, and I booked an appointment right away, went in and met with the facilitator, the clinician who walked me through it, and sat down and was just overwhelmed. There was a point where I laughed out loud in the middle of my session, because in the past you would dig it all up and you would get super emotional, and it's that ugly cry. You just feel sick. You can't even focus on what's going on around you. Everything hurts and you feel it in its rawest, hardest part. And then in seconds, it's back down to neutral. And it was as if a weight was lifted and everything became clear, and my mind had fixed what it was churning on, and I laughed. I was shocked that the weight had been so heavy, and because I had dealt with it for so long and had lived that way day in, day out with that heavy weight, to have it removed for the first time was just overwhelming. And I walked out thinking, oh, that was amazing. I went home just feeling lighter than I had, but I was surprised the next day I continued to get lighter. I continued to feel the benefits of it, and my mind kept getting more and more clear. I kept seeing things different than I had seen them prior. And ART was life-changing for me in so many different ways. I've had 2 more sessions since my initial session, where things have come up that I just wasn't happy with the way that they were impacting my life and my family. And I made the choice to go back and do it again because it gave such clarity so fast. I said if I'd had ART years ago, it would have saved me hours and thousands of dollars in traditional therapy and time and energy, and really just additional pain and churn that wasn't necessary. And so there is so much good that can come from just finding clarity, even if that means that the clarity sends you into a different direction for additional help. The clarity and the peace of mind that comes from knowing that the trauma and the emotion doesn't define you, and that there is no good that comes from holding on to that. It's huge, and it's worth every moment and every dollar spent to have ART bring benefit to your life.